Hello, America. First off, let me start by saying this is the first time I've ever done any type of video at all. If it's not the best, please don't judge me. I just like to get this information out. But today I'd like to talk to you about the Las Vegas shooting that happened Sunday, October 1st, 2017. Um, Mainstream media outlets like CNN, Fox, Headline News, CBS, ABC, NBC, the list goes on. They're only going to give us what the government wants us to hear. None of these news stations ever find out, the real information, and they never, not one of them stands out from the other, and goes out and tries to figure out, what exactly is going on. The only thing that they want us to see is, what the government's telling them, and that could be lies, and we're brainwashed and we're forced to believe whatever they, tell us. Um, but Another thing, the main reason that I'm doing this video is I'd like to start out by saying pretty much that I'm pretty sure there was at least 3 shooters involved in the crisis that carried out in Las Vegas the night of October 1st. There's millions of questions that will never be known and we'll never get answers to. It seems like every time one of these kind of terrorist acts, or I classify it as a terrorist act, because they're killing us, the American people, is carried out here in the U.S., the end result is always the same. Law enforcement makes it to wherever, the gunman's at, and the guy's either committed suicide, or they've killed him or whatnot, they, right away, so they can't question him and find out what the motive is, or, what kind of connections to other things that he might have that led him, to do this. And then, they've always got an image, a photoshopped image at the end, that CNN and all these mainstream medias are always showing, that it's probably not even what really happened. It's definitely a photoshopped image of the one of the Stephen Paddock. I'm for sure that we, the American people, are being lied to. There's definitely more to this story than what law enforcement and media wants the public eye to see. You can definitely tell by, last night there was the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Chief was having a interview on TV, and he was nervous about the whole situation. He couldn't, keep a straight face, and um, couldn't answer, the questions that great. It's just there's something behind this. I'm telling you, and that guy, felt bad for going on TV and lying about, this whole situation. But based on all the sources that I've talked to in and around the Las Vegas area, and all the multiple hours of research that I've done from all these videos that are out, that are coming out on the, the internet and stuff, I've been, watching them, taking a look at them, and looking at them at different angles and things like that. And I am for sure that there's at least 3 gunmen, involved in this, crisis that carried out, um, on October 1st. Here in this photo, this used to be a very tall Ferris wheel that sat in Las Vegas. It was called Skyview Las Vegas. It is no longer there, and the site is just vacant now and sits. But the 2 tall towers that stood to hold the Ferris wheel up, those are still sitting there, and they're an elevator shaft, and they've got staircases in them that go up. And when they would inspect the Ferris wheel, they would go up internally through these 2 structures, and go up and inspect the Ferris wheel every day. Well, those 2 towers, the Ferris wheel's gone. Those 2 towers still stand there today, and those are directly across the street from the Las Vegas Village where the concert was at, and it's right next door to Mandalay Bay. I want you to look at this image, because this definitely had a play in what happened that night. This here is a photo of the Tropicana Las Vegas, which is a casino, and they have 2 hotels. This here is a picture of the back hotel. Both of their hotels, all the windows open up. As you can see here in this photo that I've got, you can take a look and you can see there's 2 windows here towards the right that are actually open. There might be a couple more that's open towards the left too, but the windows in this Tropicana hotel, that's on the back side of the Las Vegas Village where the concert was at, the windows do open up in that hotel. And there's a couple of them open here in this image. So this is another key building to what went on in Las Vegas that night. Here's the image of the Mandalay Bay Hotel. The two windows on the 32nd floor that were shot out, where they said that Stephen Paddock was at, and that's where the shots were fired from. That's what you're seeing here in this image. I'm going to point out another thing about the windows here at this Mandalay Bay Hotel. I don't want to say this is a conspiracy theory or anything like that, but in the real, these two windows that were shot out here, when you look at them, the ones, they're both on the 32nd floor. That's 11 floors down from the top of the building, and there's 9 windows in between the two windows that were shot out. So that equals out to be 9/11. I don't know if there's any connection with that or not, but it's just kind of a weird thing, that I pointed out right here in this image. 11 floors down, nine windows across from each other. This is a map here of what we should really be focused on, in the investigation. If the government, they're not, questioning, they're saying, and law enforcement saying there's no, way anybody else could be involved or anything. Based on, videos that I've seen, things that I've seen, these areas highlighted in blue are definitely, 3 spots of interest there that should be, definitely checked out. The first one up in the top right hand corner, that's Mandalay Bay, where the 32nd floor, where they said that all this happened at. Well, right directly to the north of the red center, you've got the Skyview Ferris wheel where it sat. The Ferris wheel is no longer there, but the towers still sit there. And then right down here to the bottom left hand corner, you've got the Tropicana casino that's got a hotel. The main focus there is the back hotel. That one is directly behind the Las Vegas Village where the concert was held at. And the way that these places are connected, what we're predicting happened, based on things that we've heard and seen and different things. The first shots rang out with the first shooter, and those were at the Skyview Towers. Many people were saying at the concert that they felt like shots were coming from behind the stage and things like that. If you watch a lot of the videos, people that had their cell phones out when the shots, rang out, that's what they were saying, that the shots were coming from there, behind the stage, and they're probably right. I think that the shooter one, he shot out the window on the left-hand side when you look at the image. And then shooter 2, which was in Tropicana, he used a sniper and shot out the other window on the 32nd floor in the Mandalay Bay. So that's what gave you both those two windows. There's no way that guy took a hammer and beat those windows out at that hotel. There's no possible way. Those windows are hurricane proof, bulletproof glass. I seen somebody doing a test on those panels, and a hammer would not break those. The main point that I wanted to get to is that there's definitely a possibility of 3+ shooters. It shows it right here. Sniper 1 was in the Skyview Tower right to the north of where the concert was at. He shot out the left window in Mandalay Bay. Sniper 2 was in Tropicana down in the bottom left hand corner in blue. He shot directly across with his sniper and shot out the front window in Mandalay Bay. And then inside Mandalay Bay, after Sniper 1 shot, he began to shoot people on the ground. After Sniper 2 shot, he began to shoot people on the ground. And then that's what opened up both the windows, and then a grand finale went off, and that was when all 3 of them were shooting towards the end, and they were all shooting directly down towards the ground. And that there is why so many people, were injured out of this whole mess. It was definitely more than one person. One person didn't do this. He didn't break the windows out with a hammer. There's no possible way. This is hurricane-proof glass. I've seen videos from the glass people that make the glass, and they said that it could withstand, more damage than a hammer. So it took definitely a high-powered sniper to shoot that window out. all the mainstream media channels, news channels, all they're worried about when you turn on the news is what the motive is behind this. The thing is, we'll never know what the motive is behind this. This was pulled off by some elite people here in the United States. Honestly, these people, have major power here in the United States that did this. This isn't two people going at it, and this guy was a millionaire, man. He had everything he wanted. He gambled every day. He lived a great life. I've heard stories from a neighbor that talked to him, that would go over to his garage and said that this guy, and that guy was in the Marines, and he said this guy never had any guns or anything like this. This is could be a major setup here. And the whole thing resorts back to gun control. Honestly, some people, some elite people in this country, they definitely paid some people off and did this, and maybe the Stephen Paddock guy, he might have been involved with it, but then again, it might have just been a setup too. There's a lot of questions behind how he got all that ammunition and all the guns and everything up inside this hotel room. This stuff, they probably brought it up, through a security elevator or something like that, because I seen a video that said there was about 129,000 cameras in that Las Vegas area, but not one single surveillance footage has come out. And the reason behind that is probably because, if the surveillance footage is leaked, you're going to find out the truth, and what really happened behind this, and how all that ammunition got up there and all that stuff too. I know locally, I seen a place the other day, a local Baskin Robbins that had got robbed. Within 24 hours after the store got robbed, they had the surveillance footage wanting to know, who this guy was and if anybody could identify him, and that was 24 hours after, this happened. So there's definitely a lot that's, hidden out here, and that we're not being told. And, I don't want to say that it has something to do with Hillary Clinton, but man, she was the first one to run her mouth the next day, about gun control. And, I've heard, this kind of thing before. So I would kind of, think that maybe she might have something to do with it, and maybe some of the elite people that she's with or something, try to pull a stunt, to make it look like we need to ban guns. That's just my opinion. There definitely was more than one shooter. I hope you guys, share this. Let's stand up, as the American people. Let's stand up, and if they just push this one or sweep this one under the mat, there's more to it. That Skyview, somebody was in Las Vegas yesterday. The Skyview Tower, where that Ferris wheel was at, that's completely locked down. The police won't let you get in around that area or anything. So that goes to show, that they know, what's up, and they know that was part of the situation too. You haven't heard anything about shell casings or anything like that. If there's different types of guns or anything like that, they haven't mentioned any of this stuff. Everything is a big secret. This is an inside job. This is not us Americans going against, another American or whatnot. This is something that somebody's trying to prove a point, and it's somebody elite here in the United States, and they paid somebody off to go and do this stunt, and this is what we end up with. It ended up, killing many of people's and injuring many of people. This is, this stuff's got to stop. We as the American people, we need to stand up starting today. Based on this kind of tragedy that happened here in the United States, this stuff cannot be going on here in the U.S. This is people that are elite. I don't know, if it doesn't have connections, with other countries or, something like that, where I've seen some other stuff too, where a bunch of stocks were sold and things like that of the MGM, Grand, and maybe this stuff is just going under, who knows. But the thing is, we got to stand up. We cannot be letting this stuff go on and then letting them sweep this under the rug, like they did with, say, for instance, Hillary's emails. That just got pushed under the rug. You know, everything, all this stuff does. They don't do a thorough investigation. They don't want the public eye to see, you know, what's going on, and that, you know, this is corrupt shit going on. You know, within the United States, in here, you know, this is stuff that's going on, and we need to stand up. We need to get answers. You know, if they're not capable of doing the investigation, you know, somebody else should have got in there. You know, hire an outside company or something, somebody else to get in there and investigate this thing the right way, so we can find out what exactly is going on, who these people are, and lock these people up, man, so that, you know, it doesn't happen no more. You know, this didn't happen just from two normal everyday people. This was a long, thought out, drawn out process. You know, somebody sat down. You know, a group of people sat down, mapped this out. This wasn't just one guy that just, you know, got up and did this whole big operation. This was a group of people that mapped this out, and there's more people behind this. I'm telling you that there's more people out there. And the thing is, if we don't catch them, we don't figure out who the heck did this, it's going to keep on happening until, you know, everybody's injured. We got to stand up today, America. Come on. Please subscribe to our channel and share this video to get this message out, so everybody knows, you know, what's going on. And, you know, stand up and let's get this thing, you know, let's find out who's behind this.